rock me mama.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. This is Rock Me Mama.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Amy. So, okay, what are we going to talk about?
We want to talk to producer Morg.
Oh, yeah.
She's been sick the last couple episodes, and y'all miss her.
And she's been so tired. The other day, Bill and Hart came over to our house and Morg didn't come, and it was because she was napping.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been napping a lot.
And I was like, wow.
As you should.
Yeah, you've been napping.
Yeah. Bill calls it my mandatory pregnancy nap.
Yeah, you're just kind of like hibernating.
Yeah. I wish I could say, like it's a cool 45 minutes. I'm talking 1 to 4:30.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, think about it. How many times have we texted her and not heard back for 4 hours?
No, I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank God. So these are the days that Hart's in school.
Or cared for by Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Sunday afternoon.
So it just hits 1 o'clock and you're like, that's my cue.
G2G.
Yeah. And
Is it just that the baby's just, I forget. I remember that I was very tired, but I forget I thought like the first try was more of the tired time.
Yeah, like 5-6 weeks, I already knew I was pregnant. And so I was attributing it to that. But it's really going in waves. I was telling y'all, I think it might be growth spurt
Yeah.
associated. But like I was sleeping a good 9-10 hours at night, waking up at, 8 a.m.,
Oh my God.
taking a nap, and by 6:37 I was ready to go to bed.
And you usually stay up.
Yeah, I'm a night owl.
Yeah.
And y'all, I would like to say that I wasn't taking 4-hour naps when I was childless.
Right.
So I do think that adds an extra layer to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You're just tired.
you're
it's pretty
growing a
brutal.
human.
Yeah. And
Are you in pain yet? Do you have any round ligament pain?
I do, yeah.
I got that really early on with my pregnancy.
Yeah, when I was sick, I coughed a rib out of place.
My friend Alana, I was just telling
bad.
me that she cracked a rib when she was pregnant because she was coughing so much she was sick.
Yeah.
And that it was one of the most painful things that ever happened to her.
Well, because
Yeah.
you can't do anything about it.
It's
Right?
pretty
They
bad.
can't fix a rib, right?
No, and in the one that is messed up is too low to really do any twisting and fixing with pregnancy, because there's
There's a child, yeah.
Yeah, but the exhaustion, I think there's something definitely to be said about the second kid and being pregnant and chasing a toddler
Because you have
around.
a toddler,
You're
yeah.
exhausted.
When I was
sun
pregnant,
up, sun down.
Yeah, when I was pregnant with Hart, I was sleeping till 11 a.m. on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And there's just simply not
Nope.
the
Hart
chance.
Hart doesn't care that you're pregnant.
No, he doesn't.
Well, and your mind, there's also the exhaustion that comes from your mind racing at all times too. Because when you're pregnant with your first, you literally you don't know what's to come. So you're like, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, because you can. When you're pregnant with your second though, y'all know how it is. You're constantly thinking, what do I have to do for Farrah? What do I have to do for Hart? And so
Yeah.
you're not only physically exhausted, but there's no mental break
Yeah.
either. So you're just run down.
Well, and not to mention having a full-time job, trying to be a corporate baddie.
And that.
It's exhausting.
And that. Oh, Morg, we missed you on the show.
Yeah. So,
But how are you feeling as far as are you excited?
yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I do.
Are you like nervous?
For sure. Yeah, there's days, especially lately, when I'm really tired that I'm so impatient with Hart.
Yeah.
And I worry, it's well, if I'm feeling this way now,
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm starting to have the panic of, what if I can't handle it? Because your girl is heavy bones, lazy girl.
A, you can handle it. B, you literally have a village.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a lot different. And I think we've talked about it with y'all too, is even in the first, I don't know, year or 9 months to a year of having our first kids is I was with Maddie a lot.
Yeah.
Down the street, but beyond that, there's really no one. Nobody came and saw me besides family.
Yeah.
No one brought us meals.
Yeah.
No
It's
one
different. We're literally, and also Hart is completely at home at my house.
Yeah.
like feels completely comfortable.
He's absolutely good to
and
go.
can be dropped off at any time. Like it's one of those things where like when they were younger, toddlers are so finicky, and as babies too, it's just like they can see you 200 times and you're like, do you still not recognize me? But our kids now, like Eli says, Amy. When Eli wants something from me, he says, Amy.
Oh, yeah.
And when Hart wants something from me, he says, Amy.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. Because they tell me what they want.
Yeah.
They talk to me like someone they've grown up with. They've known their whole lives because they have. And it's so much more comfortable. They're becoming like kids.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's fun.
it's different now. Like you guys they're pretty much at the age where you guys could drop them off and I'd be like, go do your thing. Like, I'll give them some chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And naps are probably done in the next 6 months to a year.
Oh, I hate whenever that conversation gets
So
brought
Did
up.
y'all just
She's
hear
fighting
something?
them.
Did you hear something? I didn't.
I didn't hear anything either.
I'm telling you that my child will be done with naps within 6 months. She's fighting them extremely, extremely hard. And she's less tired at night.
Yeah.
And it takes way longer for her to go to bed.
Yeah.
So once naps aren't a thing, you don't have to, as much as it sucks, you don't have to schedule your life around a nap.
That's true.
So you could at any time drop kids off to one of us.
Yeah,
That's true.
You
That is
know,
true.
where you're like, all right, we don't have to worry about a pack and play. It does open up possibilities for help more.
It's a new phase for
when
sure.
naps are not a thing.
Yeah.
Because think about, and especially like for me, like we have to be home from 12 to like 3:30.
Oh, yeah.
Which like, I'm not complaining about that length of a nap, but like we have to plan our days around naps.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like that, I do think that looking forward, that will be nice to be able to like, okay, do we want to like take them to lunch somewhere?
Absolutely. And think about like, I was talking to my friend Jay because he's transitioning his 1.5-year-old from 2 to 1 nap. And we forget that they used to take 2 fucking naps.
That's insanity.
And they would take 2 short naps and you had to plan your whole day around 2 freaking naps.
Oh, yeah.
And when they're Wyatt's age, it's like 200 naps.
Yeah, he's a 4
Like,
napper.
every 2 hours they nap. But like until they're 1.5 or something, they're on 2 naps and you have to be home for those 2 times. And it makes it so that it's impossible to do really anything.
Yeah, it does.
And he just got his kid to 1 nap and he's like, oh my God, it's so much better.
I was so scared about the 2 to 1 because as y'all know, E has always been an incredible sleeper from really the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because he was like a 3 napper and his naps, like at Wyatt's age, his naps were all an hour and a half long.
See, this is why you were so shocked with Wyatt because you didn't have a real experience.
No, I was
you had a dream experience.
totally.
Yeah. See, that is not normal.
No. But Wyatt,
Did you have that too?
No.
No. Like yours is.
I feel like we were great and lucky, but normal.
Yeah. Because Hart's he's
a
for
great
the most
sleeper.
part been a really good sleeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, and then E went, when he went to 2 naps, they were both like 2 hour. I mean, like I had a lot of time to run my business and even like have me time. Like I like watched TV back then.
Yeah.
And so I was so scared to drop from 2 to 1, but then he started like
Sleeping for 3 or 4 hours.
He was doing
so it
the
was
Morgan
great.
nap.
Yeah. He was taking a Morg nap.
It's wild to me that you have it, that anyone would be able. I mean, the other day, didn't Spencer tell us that like Glenn took a 4-hour nap? Like that's not part of my life.
No, it's not. Maybe the next one.
The next one.
Maybe the next one.
We'll see.
I'll just come be your second baby. Google.
Google gaga.
I sleep for 4 hours.
Google. Yeah, you just come over and take a nap. And I'm like, I'm having the second child experience with Morgan.
That's my favorite thing to do with Farrah right now is hold her like a baby and go goo goo gaga.
I did it.
It's the funniest thing.
No, she thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
It makes when the kids laugh so hard that
it
you
makes
start belly laughing.
Yeah. Her laugh is also
her laugh is
best.
hilarious.
The definition of belly laugh.
Unmatched.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's so good.
Wait, so I wanted to bring this up because, nobody knows where we live in Nashville, so you're not gonna like get anyone in trouble. But I have a friend who has had trouble with her preschool, and I know that you did as well. And tell us a little bit about that because I had a situation with Farrah's last mom's day out where I took her out because they weren't changing her diaper. And
poop.
Literally, I would pick her up and she'd have like shit in her, like caked.
And
to
you said something to them, and Nick
3
said
times.
something to them.
Yeah, and they didn't fix it. And it also just, I felt like she wasn't being cared for. I took her right out. So tell us kind of like what your experience was recently.
Oh.
And Morgan,
Because I think it's more common than not that these places aren't as, I mean, some of them are great, but
Morgan
I have
loves
a note.
confrontation too.
It's really funny. I have a note. Look, and I gotta say, listener, they did not tell me I was going to be talking this, more on this episode. I just happened to be really prepared.
Oh yeah, we did not tell her.
we didn't tell you
were,
that this was like
making
your
this about
episode.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, here. Okay. I do pride myself in being able to think critically about situations and apply not just my emotional response to a situation.
Yeah.
However, it's whenever you start to have that feeling that, okay, and I need to preface this with saying, if I actually thought he wasn't actually being cared for,
You'd take him out.
He would be gone.
Of course.
He would be out of there.
Of course.
But that doesn't mean that like places can't receive feedback when they literally have people's children
And they
in
should.
their hands.
Well, and that's like when you were texting us about it. That's why I said like,
Yeah.
you're allowed to be picky because not only are you a paying customer, but it's your child. So like you are allowed to nitpick if that's what it is, even if that's not what it is. Like you're allowed to do that.
So yeah, I feel like prefacing with that, and I think a part of that is we don't have to get into it, but like the feeling of like, oh, like I should just like be quiet, and,
agreeable,
like, docile. Yeah,
no,
agreeable.
not with your child.
No, not at all. And so, things like the diaper requests, where it's like I took 20 diapers a week ago, and he goes for 3 days.
Yeah.
We drop him off around 8:45 or 9. We pick him up around 4:30.
Yeah.
The math ain't mathin' to me, but also I failed math. So
did I.
So things like that. And then like I bring more diapers and I look under where they keep his diaper, like, they separate everyone's and it hasn't been touched. The wipes haven't been opened.
Oh.
Things like that. So that's kind of weird. And I work in a corporate environment that is heavily relies on me being on top of communication, being on top of tasks, projects, things like that. And like to receive last minute emails from a director about something is like, oh, sorry. Like, it didn't affect us. It was fine. Tuition's going up. Sorry. I thought it was the end of the month. It's actually, it's
Tuition's
actually
going
now.
up.
It's actually now.
Yeah, that's like not.
Ooh,
okay.
that's really
You have to
unprofessional.
warn people if tuition's going up.
And so it doesn't affect us, but I think about the people who it does.
Oh, if that would,
And it
that
affects
could
all of
affect
it,
a ton of people.
Yeah. So there's just like a couple things that are like the odd things that kind of just bother you.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and like 3 odd things add up to one big thing. Like it adds up.
Exactly. And then a couple weeks ago now on a Friday, I picked him up and he was fine, whatever. We get home and I was like, I thought he just had this like honking massive booger, which like is...
Well, he's a toddler, so they have boogers.
Par for the course.
I was about to say par for the course.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to keep an eye on that because it looked weird. And it was way up his nose. And then he got upset and started crying. And so a lot of snot was coming out. And then I look on the edge of his nose and there's like something like metallic looking. And luckily I was able to just like pop it out of his nose because it was so slick with mucus. It was a gum wrapper balled up. I mean, like almost like circumference. Is it circumference or diameter? Which one's the one that's like from side to side? Diameter. Like
I don't know. I'm pretending like I know.
Like a penny.
Yeah. I would be livid.
I was mad for you when you were texting. All of us were.
Because how did it get up there?
Yeah.
Also, why are you chewing gum with my kid?
Or just like
is
throw
there
the
gum
trash
around?
away.
Yeah. Like, is there... What's happening?
Right. And so I think it's
Did he roll it up and stick it up his own nose?
That's my question.
Maybe.
And it's like if it was like a piece of a toy or like something that came, it's like I almost would feel better, but like this is trash.
Yeah.
And so, and I will say for maybe people who think that I'm just ignoring what could be the reality, we don't like have any gum in our house.
Yeah.
We don't chew gum. We looked in bags. My little sister's living with us right now. She looked at the gum wrapper, was like, nope, that's not mine.
No.
And so I try so hard. It's like, I know that they're there and there are people that we trust and really like and feel good about, but there are just situations that are just like, okay, when I was already annoyed about these small things and then he comes home, it's like, it was
the final straw.
I was like laying awake at night, like, do I take him back? What do we do?
Yeah. Well, because he genuinely likes it, right?
Yeah.
Like he goes in and he's happy.
Yeah.
So it must not be that bad, but that doesn't mean that there's not negligence or there's not.
Also, like, kids don't really have standards. So
exactly. But if it was awful and they were mistreating him, he would not want to go.
Hart would know with Hart.
Like Farah would have a nervous breakdown when I was taking her to that other place.
Yeah. Which is what made you.
And I was like, I don't like how much she doesn't want to go, and everyone was like, oh, it's so normal. They never want to go, and that's true. But
you knew it
got to the point, like after a few times, I was like, all right, like she's hates it here.
Yeah. And I put him down now when I drop him off and he runs over and gets in his teacher's lap. Like,
so there is a trust.
Yeah. He loves her.
Yeah.
So
how did they, cause you
how did they handle
to them about it?
I talked to the one teacher that we really trust. And she was actually gone when it happened. She was out. And I told her, and this is one of my issues, is I hadn't been able to get access to the director when I was there in person.
Yeah, and I don't like that either.
And so I told her, and she was like, she felt so bad.
Yeah.
She was apologetic. There was no blame. There was no excuse. So immediately with that, I felt like, okay, well, at least the person who he's in the classroom with feels good.
Yeah.
And I did, I kind of mentioned in passing to the director, like, this happened and this was a concern. And that I understand that she doesn't have access to everything, what's going on at all times, but that I at least expected, if it happened, to already be out of his nose by the time I picked him up, because that attention to detail would be important.
Yeah.
That's also like, that's a very big hazard.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been a trip to the ER to get it pulled
removed.
out.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I was like, I've had time to kind of come down from the emotions. That's what I wanted to. That was important to me. If something like this happens again, the conversation's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's a great way to phrase that.
I was like, it's not going to be like this. So, and I will say, y'all, like, I'm a big believer in gut feelings. However, you do also have to consider the lens you view the world through.
Yeah.
That just because you have this feeling or perspective, like, also doesn't mean that emotional response is reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's hard, is thinking that every little feeling you have is, oh, this is my gut.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that maybe we could even dive into deeper.
A mom thing too.
Yeah.
Like, because there's such a fine line, because being a mom, you have to trust your gut. It's all you have.
Yep.
But at the same time, if you trusted every single time you thought a situation was sketchy, you'd never leave your house.
You're going to live
with
with
a child.
You can't listen to like every single little thought that pops in.
Yeah. So there is a fine line. And I think it's super mature of you, because you're you're a young mom, so it's super mature of you to be able to have that just self-awareness, to be like, okay, let me take a step back. Let me calm down and let me really critically look at what's happening.
Yeah.
And not be reactive.
Yeah.
That would not be how I did it. And that's why, I'm at 40 still learning how to be a human being that talks to people, because I would be, I call it a Phyllis Bodek, my mom. I would literally walk into that school with like fire coming out of my asshole.
I mean,
like,
they were lucky
ready
it happened
to
on a Friday.
Yeah.
They were lucky. So,
and they're lucky you're pregnant and tired.
Well, and I was going to say, talking about like taking a step back, coming down from it and thinking about it. If Sky was gone that day, does that mean that one teacher was there? Because like, if that's the case, then there was one less set of eyes, not vouching for them.
Could it probably be a kid that stuck it up there? You know what I mean?
I know. And it could have been Hart.
It could have been him.
He might have just grabbed it and stuck
And
it
just
up
been
there.
like, this looks like a good spot for it.
So it's
They are in the phase where they're sticking things in their nose. Farrah picks her nose all the time
does
now,
Eli.
and she puts things in her nose too.
Yeah.
So that is like kind of the phase that they're in. But you just don't know, and it needed to be noticed. And also, why is there a gum wrapper around him?
Right.
Yeah. That's almost more
all
of
the facts. Yeah, all the facts are there and still matter. It's just I think more. It's not even. It's like I didn't like go in there calmly for her, for the director, or the teacher.
Yeah.
But it was like, how am I like?
It's for you.
Yeah, it's like I could have like absolutely just like disintegrated on a molecular level about this as I do.
But and that would just alienate him and alienate you.
Yeah.
And this is a situation that is really good for you in most ways.
Yeah, it is very good.
So now you just know, okay, I'm going to put that in a compartment and know that. And then if it happens again, we're going to deal with it.
Exactly.
But for now,
I think that too.
I think it's a small enough thing that you can totally move. I would still send Farrah. I would just be like, all right, I'm going to watch you fucking people.
Well, and the way that they handled it. Because when the stuff with you and Farrah was going on,
they
did
just
not
denied
apologize.
everything and said nothing. They didn't.
And that's what I was cautious of going into the conversation.
The teacher
I had that
disagrees
knowledge,
with you. We're sorry
That
you feel
is
that way. I'm like,
the
sorry, I
craziest
feel that
thing.
way. I picked her up 3 different times with shit caked to her butt and food caked to her mouth.
The fact that
And she was miserable. Like, and then I watched you in your diaper changing station, and it was unsanitary.
Yeah.
So like,
There's no
do
getting around
not.
that.
No.
And the other thing is, I didn't even ask for my money back. So it wasn't like a thing where I was like, I want a refund. It was like, I want accountability.
Yeah.
And they didn't give me that. And I was like, go fuck yourself.
As this
and
is
your
something
stupid
that-
ass fucking Mother's Day out, you fucking cunts.
Mother's Day in, I guess.
Yeah, Mother's Day in. Yeah, because now I don't get to do anything.
That's one thing that I have really had to like work on learning is that the business owner or the customer is always right. Because I run my own business and there are so
I'm sure you have to
many
eat
times,
it. I'm sure you have to eat it all the time.
so many times where somebody sends like, God, I love all of you people, but just the dumbest questions. Or like I'll be accused of something that I know 100% without the shadow of a doubt is wrong. And I wish I could come up with an example, but y'all can imagine whatever.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of having my business, I would get defensive because it feels like it's an attack on me. Because
I mean, we still like talk shit to people on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
We're like, excuse you.
Oh yeah. No, I like, it's hard not to, but Chase, like, cause there were a few times where I would come back with there was one time where some girl got mad at me because I ran a sale and she was like, I just bought I don't know, whatever. And I responded to her from the heart. I responded with emotion. Like you said, you do a good job.
Which is not always a bad thing.
Right.
No, you're human.
And it's hard. Like Fitascore that was my first baby.
Yeah.
And so I responded with emotion and she got feisty, so much so that I was sobbing. I blocked her and then her husband came for me from his Instagram. Anyways, Chase and I had this big
People
sit down
are
and he was
wild.
like, you have to understand that you are a business. Like I know you're a person, but you are a business and the customer is always right. And so that was the most pointless story, but all that to say, like in that situation with her daycare, first of all, they were wrong. But even if that teacher truly believed that Farrah never had a shitty diaper.
They're like, well, you came early.
Yeah, then like
I'm like,
you guys, this is a business that you run and you're a paying customer. Like,
and you have a reputation.
yes, so you have to, even if you do not believe anything that you as a mom are saying, as the school, you have to say, I'm so sorry you're upset. So that was the kicker for me when you were going through all this, that they literally were like, no, you're wrong.
And they contacted me again to see if I was going to sign up for the next semester. And I said, I'm sorry, you don't get second chances with my child.
No. Also, no.
You didn't say sorry. You didn't take accountability. And your place is a fucking dump.
Yeah. Well, Spencer had the same experience there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Spencer didn't like it either.
No, it's it's not. It was me I was desperate for a couple hours to myself. I have nobody. We didn't have Polly at the time. We don't have family.
Yeah.
I was desperate.
Yeah.
And but I realized, you know what? This is my child. This is the most precious
Totally.
in the world. I can't. It's like, you know, you don't want to get
poop and rude responses.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
That's not like you being a helicopter mom. That's like, those are issues that
no, like I am a helicopter mom, but like that's not me being.
I'm not a helicopter mom, and I would have addressed that the same way.
Yeah,
and I think people in those situations where like customer's always right, yes, but I do think that right in the way of like their experiences and perspectives matter in relation to the business and need to be validated. It doesn't mean that their opinion is fact or that their perspective or experience is fact.
Yeah.
However, the impact of whatever you did or didn't do is what needs to be validated.
Oh, I mean, even when I was like, even when I was bartending, like I mostly had managers that if someone complained about something, they would be like, okay, we're going to refund whatever you need. You are totally right. And then they'd come back to me and they'd be like, I know this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
But just smile and give him his check and I will buy you a shot later. Right. You know, like there is a way to do it right for everybody and where honestly, everybody's happy.
That's good navigating skills for relationships in general. Yeah. For close relationship that you know that you
what you just said, Chase and I actually had that conversation recently about me.
Impact versus intention.
Yeah, and how I'm really bad at, and he listens to all these episodes, so you can enjoy this, babe.
Eat your heart out.
Enjoy this.
Men love being right. How much do men love being right?
I'm admitting it. I know.
More than anything in the world.
Don't validate men, though.
Yeah, never, ever validate a man.
Exception. Well, it's literally what you said, but in terms of like our relationship, like if he has something that's bothered him, I hate being wrong. I mean, everybody hates being wrong, but like I don't like feeling like I've fucked up is more of what it is. And so when he addresses it and when we talk about it and he says, hey, you did this and it made me feel that way, my immediate reaction, not response, reaction is either, well, I did it because this, or well, but you did. Like there's always a rebuttal instead of like, I hear you.
Yeah.
It's okay to get out of that too, especially with someone who's as safe as, I mean, not everyone's partner is safe. So I think we're very lucky to be able to take advantage of that. But I heard on a podcast recently about, it's, you know, everyone was, oh, well, it's just who I am. You know, I take the, you know, I don't want to be wrong or whatever. That's just the you that you're accustomed to being.
Yeah.
That's not, you know, set in stone. It's not concrete. Yeah. So
that's true.
Well, I'm just this. And it's like, well, maybe you're just an asshole.
Yeah. Like learn to not be.
Yeah.
Well, because that's like, I'll be the first to admit I am a reactor. I'm a big time reactor. I always have been. But that's something that I do try to work on. So it's not like that's who I'm
you're
born
super
as.
aware of it. And
so much. You've talked about it so much.
Yeah.
And I think you don't give yourself as much credit as you deserve.
Chase also sees the most reaction.
Well, yeah, because he's your husband and that's, you know, that's who you come at the hardest.
But I do have to actively work on not reacting.
So do I. Well, what I have to work on is not completely shutting down and pretending that Nick is not alive. Because if I'm mad,
I heard that.
Yeah, if I'm mad or just like stressed or overwhelmed, I literally look through him.
Yeah.
And he's like, it is the worst feeling to feel
such a
like you don't. He's the most feeling person.
He's a feeler.
He's so sensitive. He's a Cancer. And, you know, he's
like the sign,
like
not
the
a
sign,
not a disease.
Yeah, the sign. But Scorpios and Cancers are really good match.
Yeah,
because he can handle my intensity.
Yeah,
and he thrives off my loyalty.
Yeah,
but like, and I can handle how sensitive he is, but I definitely have to watch myself.
I think that if Chase were here, and Alan heard you know, Chase is a Scorpio too.
No, is he?
Yeah, y'all's birthday's 2 days apart.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So, because Chase and I are alike.
Oh, yeah. And what you just said about having to like tiptoe, essentially, Chase would phrase it as tiptoeing around me or like walking on glass around me, because he could be like, he wouldn't even say I don't like. He could be like, your hair, like your roots have grown out. I'll be like, oh my God. Like literally anything that he says
Nick
gets outside of actually just being like, you're fucking perfect, crushes me. And it's pathetic. But that's just how I am.
Nick is so fucking sensitive, and it's sweet, and I adore the man,
And
but
it's cancerous.
sometimes, and it's cancerous. No, but sometimes I'm just like, God damn it. Like that was a joke. And he's like, oh, I'm like,
That's how this sounds like chasing me.
Okay, stop getting your little panties in a bunch.
Yeah, I relate to Nick.
I'm the same way. Y'all love how y'all wanted to ask me some questions about how I was feeling and coughing my ribs out of place, and then it turned into
like a therapy session.
So, my Venmo is at Morgan Niebuhr. No, I'm just kidding. But
wait, do you have an OnlyFans? Because the person I'm about to talk about does.
Oh wait, yeah,
okay. So listen to this.
Lord, no,
listen
I don't
to this.
have one, Mom.
My friend Chelsea, who I'm obsessed with, we became friends because we're both backup singers, or we both toured as backup singers. And we became friends, like pen pals, like online. We've never met in person.
Yeah. That's so cute. I love that.
But we talk all the time, and I'm literally like, if she flies into town, like she will be on the show.
Yeah.
She's incredible. She's written a book. She's toured the world. She's like incredibly like just cultured, and she loves all the same food and all the same drinks, whatever. But she has a kid. Her daughter is Farrah's age, and she recently sent her to preschool. And this was something her and I have talked about a lot. Like we were both totally uncomfortable with it, and we both struggle with all the same fears. And she was like, you know what? I really do. Once I did it, she was like, okay, I really need to like send my kid. Like I need some time.
Yeah.
And because she's full-time momming, and she's also working on a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And so she sent her kid to his preschool, and the kid had a teacher that immediately Chelsea was like, I just don't like get a vibe, a good vibe. Like I get a weird vibe. So she looked her up on Instagram, which I guess is a no-no. I don't know how old the teacher is. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. I actually can't speculate.
Okay.
She looked her up on Instagram, and the teacher's Instagram was like her like smoking bongs and her like drinking and her like in like goth, like just looking like someone that like murders children.
Yeah, not a teacher.
And so Chelsea was like, okay, she brought it up to the school.
Oh, wow.
She was like, I feel like this is an inappropriate person.
At least make your account private.
And the school was like, you're not allowed to judge someone based on their Instagram, which is fair.
No, actually, you're not allowed to judge someone.
Yeah. But in my opinion, I'm like, if someone's watching my kid, can be a detective.
Yes.
So
she's posting that stuff because she wants people to think that's
and of course it's like a church, like it's run by a church, as all of them are. And, I know everyone loves God, but everyone knows how I feel about the church. So anyway, it's run by the church. And so she goes to the church folks, and she's like, hey, this is what I saw. And the church folks are like, no, she's good. And so Chelsea's like, noted, taking my kid out of school, and now I'm a detective.
Oh.
So she went and vetted this girl and basically just like looked into her, because she was like, I'm not being validated. And nobody's taking me seriously.
Yeah.
And I don't like this.
Yeah.
She found so much shit.
Let's go,
on
Nancy
this
Drew.
Girl.
Let's go.
She sent me her OnlyFans. Let me read some of her OnlyFans posts.
I thought you were going to say Chelsea had an OnlyFans.
Nope. The preschool teacher has an OnlyFans.
So her radar was
by the way, her radar was totally right. Yeah. By the way, I am totally for sex work. If you want to work in sex, that is your fucking choice.
But just maybe don't be a preschool teacher.
Maybe don't be a preschool teacher.
Church. Right.
But if you want to be, and also this is a testament to, we need to pay teachers better.
Yeah, God, no
because
kidding.
The fact that teachers need OnlyFans, motherfuck.
That's really what
that's the point here. That's the point here. We need to pay teachers more so they don't have to like suck hypothetical dick on OnlyFans.
Right.
So anyway, let me read to you some of these posts from the woman who was watching my friend's child.
I'm scared.
2-part masturbation video because my vibrator died halfway through. He. Riding the biggest dildo I own. Don't you wish that were you? Say thank you to the person that ordered this. Quick little POV sex tape. Got a blowjob video coming up soon. Who's excited?
Oh.
Does it count as getting laid if my boobs aren't a little bit bruised the next day?
Oh.
There's cum in my eyelashes.
Oh! Goo in the lashes.
I'm speechless.
What in the world?
There's a lot of other ones.
Keep them coming.
Got a solo masturbation video up. Don't forget, I still have that blowjob video available.
Don't forget.
Nut.
God forbid.
Nut, exclamation point, on my face.
Not singular nut.
Nut on my face. Here's a picture of my boobs. It just goes, the list goes on and on. And it's like, this is the person.
Did Chelsea join OnlyFans too?
I don't know if you have to join. I don't know how OnlyFans works.
I don't know either.
Maybe we should all come together and really just up the subscriber base so this teacher can get out of teaching preschoolers.
Yeah.
That's what this is about.
Let's
pay teachers more. And also, or let's pay OnlyFans people. I mean, I don't know. She's probably making, who knows?
She's probably making good money.
I mean, there's cum in her eyelashes.
Say, she's got cum in her eyelashes and a nut on her face. One nut. Not
and
two.
Here's the thing, unless you've had cum in your eyelashes, which I have not, you probably wouldn't talk about it. No, it would never occur to me to talk about that because I've never had cum in my eyelashes.
And you were posting to OnlyFans, you'd be like,
I think my eyelashes are all set.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
There's this one, I think his name is Shane Gillis, but there's a comedian that talks about, is it him?
I think
he talks about how like coming in a girl's face is like so awesome in theory, but then when you actually do it, like you look down and the girl's just like,
yeah.
And it's like the least sexy thing ever. And then after you have to just be like, can I help you with that?
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, so basically the moral of that story is, well, many morals. Trust your mom gut.
Yeah. She knew.
Teachers need to get paid more.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Mm-hmm. If you want to have an OnlyFans, maybe don't also be a preschool teacher.
Have the OnlyFans, don't have a job at a preschool.
Or make your Instagram
and
really
people
private.
Are multifaceted. You know what I mean?
That's
people
so
have
true.
many layers. Like just because you're a sexual being doesn't mean you don't also care for children.
Totally.
But
it's true.
If you're out there posting yourself on Instagram and on OnlyFans and on a bunch of other stuff, you've got to understand that mothers like me, like all of us, are going to look into who's watching our kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I do want to backtrack. Yeah, I do want to backtrack because, see, I had an emotional response. Mm-hmm. You can do both. And, you know, I don't want to put the idea out there that I think sex workers are a harm to children.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Hell no.
Because, like, girl, if you feel it in your heart and whatever, go for it.
A parent whose child you are taking care of, find your OnlyFans.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Make the Instagram private. Mm-hmm. Like, be both. Good for you, girl. Wear those different hats.
Make your stuff private. But if my friend got a vibe, that means she wasn't really an appropriate person.
That's true, too.
Yeah, that's true, too. The preschooler.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a first.
So that's my story.
That's a first.
I'm sticking to it. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we have a new segment called
What do you want to know?
And we had you guys ask us questions, any question. And what did you guys come up with, Morgan?
Morg gets to pick the question.
You know, it's a good one to go with this episode, and I picked it before we even talked. Best single piece of advice, like a mantra to hold on to.
On the spot.
As a mom or in general?
I think probably just in general.
Jesus.
This just came to my mind so fast. You can't please everyone.
Oh, that's really good.
That's a mantra. And honestly, that goes in line with what I was saying about.
Wait, is it not mantra? Is it mantra?
I don't know. I'm from Alabama.
I say
Do you guys say mantra?
I say mantra.
Mantra.
I definitely say mantra.
You know what? I think I've gone back and forth with the two, and every time it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, meh.
Do you guys say aunt or aunt?
I say aunt.
Like Aunt Beth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say aunt too. But then sometimes I say aunt.
You say aunt sometimes.
Yeah.
That's more of a northern thing.
Do you guys say quat or what? Just kidding. Okay, what would be my piece of advice?
I feel good about my answer.
Bill said it's mantra.
Oh.
Mantra.
Thanks, producer Bill. How did he spell that via text?
It's mantra.
Yeah, via text it was MON-TRA.
Oh.
Mantra.
What's my piece of advice? Gosh. I don't know. Maybe something that I try to tell myself. is give yourself a little grace, like be a little bit easier on yourself. That would be my mantra, is be a little kinder to yourself. Treat yourself the way that you treat your friends.
Yeah.
You know, because I sure as hell don't. Anyway, is that, are we wrapping?
This became a almost like therapy session. We just talked.
I love this episode,
I don't
honey.
know whether to say sorry or you're welcome.
You're welcome. Also, I'm drinking this Maker Rosé by Nicole Walsh, and it's delicious.
That's the one that I have. Yeah. Nicole Walsh, shout out Maker.
Shout out Maker. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. This is Rock Me Mama.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.